Hey guys, welcome back to another VinnyVid production. In this video, I'm going to go over a couple of things. John Prescott's materials for his build, his museum build. I'm going to go over my doctor visit, and I'm also going to go over the final view of Craig Gajusto's grain elevator and engine house. But before we get to that, you all know that I went to the doctor this past Monday, and he took out the stitches and everything. It's cool, but this feels a little different. There's a lot more swelling, a lot more pain, and when I try to use my wrist, imagine pouring milk into cereal and you do this motion right here. Well, that hurts like hell. So John, Eric, and Devin, please be patient. I will get your builds going as soon as my wrist can build up a little more strength. Right now I can't even apply any pressure on it. The second thing, while we're on the topic of Craig Gajusto, I called him and told him I was waiting for decals, and I finally got the decals and called him and told him that the project was ready, and he asked how much he owed me, and I told him how much. And he says, okay, I'm going to send that out to you right away. And he said, I also got a surprise coming to you. I said, okay, what kind of surprise could he be sending me? You know, I was curious about it. Anyhow, today, mail arrived. I get a ding-dong at my doorbell, and it's a package for me. And it was in a long box, and it was from Pfeiffer Hobby. Anyhow, I kind of knew when I saw the box what it was, but I wasn't expecting what was inside the box. Anyhow, Craig was nice enough to get me 24 pieces of microengineering track. That track, plus the track that my daughter got me for Christmas, is enough to get my helix going and a little bit of my upper level going. Plus I'm going to use a little bit of it to get my room number 1 straightened out. Anyhow, back to the doctor's. As I was at the doctor's and he was taking the stitches out of my hand, I noticed that he was using similar tools that we use in our hobby. So I asked him, what you going to do with those tools when you're finished? He said, I'm going to toss them. I said, well, can I have them? So he said, sure, why not? So I got a pair of tweezers. I got a pair of surgical scissors. And believe it or not, it's a number 11 scalpel. Anyhow, I thought it'd be fun to have some of that stuff. I could use most of it anyhow. Alright, the next thing we're going to go over is the material for John Prescott's build. I told you guys that I'm going to be working on plexiglass. So let me show you first the piece of plexiglass. And this is the piece of plexiglass, and I'll pull a little bit of the corner down. And if you guys can see it, it's a smoke gray, and it's going to be perfect for John's front glass fascia on his museum build. I watched a lot of videos on how to work with plexiglass, and pretty similar to working with styrene. You scribe and snap, just like I told you guys a long time ago with the styrene. Problem is, I had to go out and buy a acrylic plexiglass cutter, and I had to buy special solvent, and I had to buy a little applicator bottle that comes with these little ends on it. They're like really skinny needles. And the final thing I had to buy was a small funnel so I can pour this into this. Anyhow, John, I'm not going to take a chance because that piece of plexiglass was spendy and I don't want to mess it up, so I'm going to wait till my wrist is way better before I even try to cut it. Anyhow, let me take you off the tripod and let me show you the finished product on Craig's. I did put a couple of decals on there for you, Craig, and also I'm going to give you about 4 or 5 or 6 sheets of decals that John made up for us. Anyhow, stay tuned, fellas, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, what you're looking at is the 2-stall engine house that I built for Craig. Little machine shop there on the side. I added some details, as I think I pointed out to you when I did this project before. Anyhow, here's the back side of it. It's 2 stalls, drive-through. And Craig, I hope you really like this because I think it came out pretty good. And now for the grain elevator that I did for him. Anyhow, well, you guys saw this pretty much, but this is the difference here today. It's right there. Far West Rice. John did an excellent job on these decals. I put another one there. And like I said, Craig, I'm going to give you a bunch more that you can decorate the building a little bit more if you want. Anyhow, if you guys stay tuned, we're going to go into the train room and I'm going to show you some more updates I'm doing to it. And I might just be disappointing a couple of my subscribers because I'm going to undo what they told me to do. Anyhow, stand by and we'll be back in a minute. Alright guys, we're in train room number 1. This is where my yard is and all that stuff for all you new guys that are on my channel. Anyhow, you remember the last video I did, I said I was pushing everything over here so I can get it more prototypical with the office between the yard and the engine facility. Anyhow, what I did was I moved it over a bit more because the employees' cars, when I went there, was all parked in front of the office. And I also might change that office. I'm not too happy with it. Also, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there is a radio antenna there. That's BLMA. Okay, and now for the biggest change that I did. Well, not the biggest, but another change I did was I also got more room in here because the road comes in from the back into here. Same thing with the engine facility, comes in from the back. So I arranged these track to curve in a little bit, and I was able to get my cement plant there. Now, the next thing I changed, you guys know that I was putting in this reverse loop, but what I did was, to make it a little bit more better for me, because it actually adds as another passing siding, but if you remember, it went up through here, you can see the old track mark, and then it came up and went between these 2 buildings. Anyhow, I wasn't happy with the curve that it had here. So I alleviated that problem by going here. So now I got a nice long siding passing, and this is where I might be disappointing a couple of my guys. Anyhow, if you remember that Shane, Brakeman17, told me that I should move this turnout and put it here. And also, Robert Drake told me a good way to cover that hole was to put the freeway over here. Anyhow, because of the way I designed this track here to give me a longer passing siding track, I had to leave this turnout here, and the turnout that when I was going to move from here to here, now this turnout becomes the entrance to these 2 track. Anyhow, I stole a building from my other room right now just to see how much room I actually have for this, and it looks like it'll work out pretty good. Also, reconfigured all of this in here because the prototype can hold 10 cars, and all I can get in there is 8 because of the room constraints. And everything else is pretty much the way I said to you guys a couple of days ago. This is how it's going to look looking down the track. And I think it's going to be pretty cool to do some op sessions on here, especially with the second reverse loop. Anyhow, I think that's going to be it for now. Your comments, questions, input, and subs are always welcome. Thanks for watching. For now, that's all folks. BNSF 6951 out.